I want my MTV. Start your engines, Henny. RuPaul's Drag Race is now on MTV.
Drag Race will never be the same.
Hello, everyone. My name is Bernardo
Hi.
Sim, and I'm a writer for Out Magazine. Today, I'll be speaking with the queens of RuPaul's Drag Race Season 15. So let's get started. Sasha, you are already entering Drag Race as an absolute legend. What has been the fan response so far to the announcement that you're competing on the show?
The fan response has been insanely overwhelming. My feed felt like a Sasha Colby Stan feed yesterday when we were announced. I just was really overwhelmed with all the love and support that was coming my way, and it just showed like how many relationships I've made in different cities, living and working throughout the years. That everybody feels like excited. It's really nice to feel.
Yeah. Selena, as a fellow Latino, I am obsessed with you and your drag. Can we count on you to bring the salsa and the adobo to Drag Race?
Baby, I'm bringing the chanclas, I'm bringing the tres leches, I'm bringing all of it, honey. And that's something I'm very excited about this season. My goal to coming on the show was to represent Latinx culture in a way that no other Latina has represented on the show yet.
Yeah. Robin, I've heard that Mohart is your drag mother. How are you planning to represent the House of Heart this season?
Yes, she is one of my drag mothers. Mohart and Serenity Lockhart are my drag mothers, and Tito Midnight's my drag dad. I think the best way that I can represent all of them is to put my best foot forward at like literally all times. So that's what I try to do, and just be that drag excellence that they've all taught me to be.
Yeah. Princess Poppy, you are a San Francisco princess who is now entering a brand new queendom. Did anything surprise you about competing with these fellow queens?
No, I felt like I was expecting them to all be really ugly. And then when I walked in, everybody was gorgeous. So I was really taken aback.
This is a stacked cast. This is an open question to all the queens. What do you think about drag becoming more mainstream than ever, particularly during a time like this, with Drag Race moving to MTV?
I think drag in this huge platform is very important, especially it being a politicized year. All of our rights are being called into question as queer people, and drag is the original form of protest. And that's what we do, but we don't do it with guns and violence. We do it with love, and we do it with our heart. And that's what we need right now.
Yeah. Selena, do you have any thoughts?
I mean, exactly. It's so funny because, like, we have been here from the dawn of time, okay? I'm sure Adam and Eve had a cousin who was prancing around the pond, you know? But, like, we have been here. We're not going anywhere. Get used to it, baby.
Yeah. Yeah. Robin.
I think that especially the move to MTV reflects the times. Like you can't have a show like Drag Race be win this many awards and have it not be accepted by so many people around the world. It just happens that there are several many people whose voices are very loud and have a little bit of power. But I don't think that reflects everybody. So yeah.
Absolutely. And Princess Poppy?
While I think drag race and drag is mainstream, it's not really for like a huge chunk of America. So for it to be broadcast on such a big network, that's a really big deal. And that's going to reach a lot of new people that may have not seen it before. And it really humanizes people that they may have villainized in the past.
Ariana Grande will be the first guest judge of this season. Help me understand what was the reaction in the workroom or on the main stage, finding out that Ariana Grande is about to judge your drag on the very first episode.
The hugest pop star in the world who was fanning over us. She knew some of us. She knew our names. She like knows our handles. It was wild to see how much I think she doesn't just look at us as drag performers. I think she really sees herself as an artist and what we do being the same.
Yeah, did anyone else have a reaction to being there?
Yeah, it was literally so amazing. Like this little pop diva just shows up and is living for us just as much as we are living for her. It was so fucking cool.
Spice, we've had several drag families competing on Drag Race, but never two actual siblings. What was your approach to differentiating yourself from Sugar in the competition?
I was like, beforehand, we were like, okay, wait, are we gonna like, are you gonna be the loud one? Are you gonna be the, because the reality is we're actually really different, but it's kind of hard to like pinpoint that in like a reality TV kind of archetype way. So our motto going into each other was, let's just be ourselves, do what's true to you, and let the drama ensue.
Absolutely. Aura, I love that we have Filipino representation in season 15. How did it feel to represent not only your drag, but also your culture on Drag Race?
Well, it's amazing. I mean, we've been talking about this all morning, all afternoon, that, I'm not just here to represent myself in my drag, but I also wanted to represent the Asian community. Growing up, I didn't really have a lot of representation on TV. I couldn't really see myself in anybody that I was watching online or on TV. But now that I am here, I'm really proud to represent them, and hopefully they are able to like look up to me and be an influence for them as well.
Yeah, and especially after the success of Drag Race Philippines, I feel like there's a momentum right now in the franchise for
Yeah,
Filipino queens.
for sure, for sure. Have you guys seen Drag Race Philippines? They're crazy.
It's
They're
insane.
nuts.
It's like I feel like it's the US season on crack. I love it.
Right?
The fact that they give them food in Untucked, I'm like, okay, you win.
We could never.
We could never.
Yeah, we don't get food, we just got a bunch of alcohol.
Yeah, that's what it is. Irene, you're the alien queen of Seattle and also Bosco's drag sister. Do you think that watching Bosco in season 14 helped you prepare to compete on the show?
Absolutely. I basically just watched every time she flopped and made a mental note not to do that.
What is your plan to take over the season as an alien from another planet?
Oh, baby, the mothership's waiting just off this fucking surface of the planet. No, I plan on taking over by just being myself, being authentic. I'm surrounded by people who love me, and I'd rather be 9 people's favorite thing than 100 people's 9th favorite thing. So the more real I can be, the more accomplished I will feel.
And can't you tell who just landed?
Amethyst, you are a self-proclaimed meme queen, so I need to know, what can fans expect from the memes and the GIFs that we're getting from season 15?
A lot of stupidity memes, that's kind of the brand over here. I couldn't hear like part of the question, the middle part.
What can fans expect from the memes and the GIFs that are coming out of season 15? Can we expect a lot of funny ones?
Yes, absolutely. There's a lot of, we have Sugar and Spice on the cast, so it's kind of inevitable.
And everything nice. Nice.
I'm everything nice.
Yeah. This is an open question to all the queens. What do you think about drag becoming more mainstream at this particular point in time? More mainstream than ever now that Drag Race is moving to MTV. We can start with Spice.
I think it's so exciting that drag is getting more and more mainstream, because not only on Drag Race, social media too, just word of mouth spreads, it becomes more acceptable. So I'm just excited for when it's like 20 years from now and people are like, wait, what? You're not a drag queen? That's weird. You're not gay? Oh, you're just like normal? Oh.
Yeah, Aura, do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, we're reaching a lot more people now. Before, we were underground. Not a lot of people really knew what drag was or what we really do. And now a lot of people are getting that knowledge, getting educated. And, like from outside of our community, we are getting appreciated, and it feels great.
Yeah. Irene, I know you're not from this planet, but it's a really tough time right now for LGBTQ people on Earth, and particularly for drag performers. So with Drag Race going on MTV and becoming more mainstream, do you think that has any impact on what's going on right now?
Oh, of course, it has an immeasurable impact. I think that the visibility increasing is sort of a double-edged sword, In many respects, I think the more visible that we become as queer people, the more vulnerable that we become. Something about drag that really appealed to me when I started about 10 years ago was that drag, although it was for everyone, very few people knew about it. It was this sort of niche art form that felt very cool and underground. And as it becomes more mainstream, I think it has to inevitably lose its edge. You know, people are trying to put kids and drag queens together, and drag has to not be this fringe art form if it's going to be around kids. So I think that the culture as a whole has to adapt, but I think that drag queens also have to adapt.
Yeah, and Amethyst, do you have any thoughts?
I would just say, on a lighter note, the normalcy of drag queens nowadays is really refreshing, and it makes anybody a part of the LGBTQIA plus community feel accepted, you know?
Yeah,
being
absolutely.
on this like mainstream platform.
Absolutely. Well, we now know that Ariana Grande will be the first celebrity guest judge judging the dolls on season 15. What was it like when you found out that Ariana Grande is in the building?
I think I passed
first
out.
I was like, I was supposed to be the pretty one, but look at you. So, there goes my game plan.
It was crazy. She looked so tiny. The only thing I could tell her was how little her face was, and it was so embarrassing. I didn't know what to say.
There's sort of a validation that someone like Ariana Grande being a fan of Drag Race gives all of us. You know what I mean? It's like she's an icon. So many people look up to her, and if she gives us her seal of approval, it really is a sign that we are not crazy people.
She's not just a fan; she's a super fan.
Yeah. No, she is a drag queen.
She's so into it.
Sugar, you and Spice are coming into the show with a lot of followers on social media. What was it like to live up to the expectations of so many existing fans?
You know what I say? I feel like being quote unquote TikTok famous, it's kind of like having monopoly money. Like, it doesn't really exist. You know, you could just close your phone and you could be like, well, I don't know that. So, you know, I like to go into things with no expectations. So you got to do that for yourself too. So, you know, like it's fun to just be like, just throw everything out the window because, you know, yes, I had a platform on social media going in, but I don't have that performing experience like Sasha Colby does or Mr. You know what it is? So it's like, we're all amazing outside of the show, but when you walk into those doors, you got to throw everything out the window. You got to check the ego out the door because it's like I don't care how hot you were before. Let's see you bring it now. Can you do it inside these pink furry walls?
Okay, Mistress, we've seen a lot of Texas queens on Drag Race, but the show has yet to crown a winner from Texas. Interestingly enough, what are you bringing to the competition that makes you the Texas queen to snatch the crown?
So I actually am the first queen from Houston, Texas as well in all the seasons. So no Houston queen to ever been on Drag Race. So I have a lot of pressure riding on me. For those of you who don't know, my drag mother is the legendary Chevelle Brooks, and she was the first big girl to win a national title. She was Miss Gay USA 2000. So she already sets the bar for the plus size entertainer, and she's the blueprint. So living up to her legacy and really focusing on continuing the legacy as a plus size entertainer, as a Texas queen, and carrying the legacy of old school drag. I have all this writing on me, but I was built for this in Texas. We work with national title holders. We work with girls who have been in the business for years and years and years who are going to read you down and tell you you're the fool, but also help you and make you that girl. So I hope that's what I bring to the competition. And that's why I think I'm going to be the first Texas woman.
Absolutely. Jax, you are a gymnastics queen, so we're expecting a lot of great moves from you. Do you think that the fans are ready for the lip syncs they're about to get on season 15?
Well, I'm not going to say if they're going to get any lip syncs, but if I ever was in that situation, you know, I know how to turn the party. I know how to turn it out and do some things that, you know, we have stunt queens, we have amazing lip sync assassins, but no one does what Jax does. End of story. I am my own entity.
Well, we don't have to assume you ever lip sync on the show, but what was your opinion about the lip syncs in general that happened throughout the season?
In general, I would just say we're all such a talented cast that everyone is bringing something so different in the way that they perform, the way that they carry themselves. We have comedy queens that are just cutting up the second they get on that stage that they might not be able to dance, but I am pissing myself laughing like throughout the entire performance, and that's entertainment.
The girls were getting stunts and shows, that's for sure. Stunts and shows.
That's exciting to hear. Lucy, as a drag queen and construction worker, are you competing on season 15 for the title of America's Next Drag Superstar as well as Trade of the Season?
Oh, well, yeah, I really thought that I was a pretty good contender for trade of the season, but
You
then
are.
Aura walked in. Thank you. But Aura really is kind of like hot on
Yes.
my heels with that. So we're just going to have to let the fans decide. But there could be two trades. I honestly think we're all trade. We're all trade. We're the season of trade.
We traded in our dignity and sold our soul to go on Drag Race. So yes, we're all trade.
Well,
Yes,
let
yes.
me set the record straight. None of these sissies are trade.
And now, if this is trade, well, we need a new term because I don't know about all this. No.
Trade them all. Trade
Lucy,
them all.
we all know Lucy will whip it down, okay? If she can build up a damn house, she can build something in the bedroom, okay?
Yeah. Well, that's exciting to hear. This is an open question to whoever wants to answer it. What do you think about drag becoming more mainstream than ever with RuPaul's Drag Race moving to MTV?
It's great because we're all going to make a lot more money.
That's
I
a great
think that
answer.
season 15 is the best introduction to moving to MTV because I really genuinely feel like our season is taking it back to the old school reality TV days. I feel like we have been studying Jersey Shore, Flavor of Love. We were watching Real Housewives of Atlanta, baby. We mixed it all together, and now you have season 15 of RuPaul's Drag Race. I feel like we brought authenticity, we brought the drama, we brought the talent, and season 15 is unlike anything you'll ever see. So MTV, baby, y'all did that. Mwah.
I love being like the MTV era. It's fun. We're like the first MTV girlies.
I feel like Sugar and I are entering our meatball era. We're gonna be
Yes.
like
Snooki J Wow. Wait, who's J Wow?
Jersey Shore.
Well, no, I know. I mean, like, I guess I'll be Snooki and you're J Wow, right? Because you're the taller one, mistress.
The titties.
I'm Vinny.
There you go, the titties. Yeah.
Not Vinny.
And
No, I'm
Jax, do you have any thoughts about Drag Race not being on MTV, particularly during a time like this?
I mean, I think it's such a wonderful thing. Like I like just my love of music from a very young age. Like that is just from watching music videos on MTV and carrying that over into, our drag that we do now. It's just like I like to say whenever I perform, I feel like I'm like in a music video and just trying to tell that narrative. So it feels like a full circle moment. Drag on MTV feels correct, even if we are in a reality TV era. But yeah, it's a bigger platform. We're gonna reach to an even younger audience, and the younger the kids are when they see us, the more just self-fulfilled they're gonna feel in the future seeing people like
Right.
them.
And also
Yeah.
to elaborate, I feel like people don't realize, kind of Drag Race, the fans love to say that it switches streaming services and hosts so many times. But the switch from VH1 to MTV, although they're under like the same, like, what is it called? Like Viacom, whatever you want to say. I feel like MTV has a bigger global market, and the reach with MTV that we'll have with season 15 is much more substantial, which I think will be very beneficial because our season, we laughed, we cried together, we touched on so many sensitive subjects that I think that we all went in with one goal in mind as well, to just touch people's lives, and we don't realize the power we have not only as drag queens but as drag queens on this platform. We're going to touch so many young lives and people older as well who have the same walks of life, who maybe have never seen people who they identify with before. And I think that being on MTV, giving us this platform and making drag stream more mainstream than ever, making drag more mainstream than ever, I think will really just help take over the world, as Drag Race has been doing year after year.
Yeah, period. And Ariana Grande will be the first guest judge on this season. What was your reaction to finding out Ariana Grande was in the building?
I was trying to get a PA. I'm like, let me get a selfie. Like, this is my like fan meet and greet moment, but no one wanted to help me. They're like, no cameras on set. I was like, really? But then it clicked. I'm like, oh wait, like I'll be able, like, we're on TV together, so like that will be my little Hallmark card. I can like keep.
Honestly, I thought that I would be more starstruck, but her vibe and her energy, she was just so respectful to us as artists. And you can tell she had a genuine love for us as entertainers. And it felt like we were just chilling with our homegirl. I feel like she really just like, she made it so fun. And you have to remember too, that was our first like week there. And she made us so relaxed, and it was just amazing.
Malaysia, I'm speaking to you directly from Miami, and I'm so happy to see 305 finally represented on the show. What's
Yes.
the most exciting part about representing South Florida on Drag Race?
I mean, of course, obviously being the first, I feel like I have to go represent, and I feel like I got to put my best foot forward in the competition because by it not ever being any Miami representation, I feel like I have to make my mark. But also, I still have to represent myself, let alone like Miami. I still have to represent myself, be myself, but I want to be the best version of myself and still just make my city proud.
Absolutely. Marsha, you're a Broadway queen. If you had to pick one Broadway musical or show tune to describe this season, what would it be?
Oh, that's really hard. I'm not really sure.
Yeah,
That's hard. I mean, our season encompasses far more than any 2 hour show could contain.
that's exciting to hear. Lux, you are the youngest queen in this cast. Do you think that this was an advantage or disadvantage coming into Drag Race?
I don't think that my age really played any part of how I was going to do in the competition. I if a baby walked in there, I would have kicked that baby to the side like it was nothing. If like a 90-year-old woman walked in, like she could get it too. It's like I don't think that my age had anything to do with how I was going to fare in the competition because Drag Race is such its own machine. It's like no one, no matter how popular they are outside of the show, how experienced they are, how inexperienced they are, it really is such a unique experience. All bets are off, anything goes.
Absolutely. Anitra, you're the queen of splits and dips. In your opinion, what
Am
can we
I?
expect from the lip syncs on this season?
A lot of diversity. And all of the lip syncs, let me tell you, the girls are so talented this season. They really found some really incredible performers. I think they're going to be really sickening, and I honestly cannot wait to see them.
I have an open question to whoever wants to answer it. What do you think about drag becoming more mainstream than ever with Drag Race moving to MTV?
It's needed. It's needed. With the way the world is going, and I just think that everybody needs to experience Drag Race. Everybody needs to be exposed to it. Everybody needs to be addicted to it, like we are. And Drag Race needs to be in every household. Like, drag brings so much positivity. It brings so much creativity. It brings so much inclusiveness. Like, it's drag is just one of those things that everybody just needs to gravitate to and love.
Absolutely. Does anyone else have an answer?
I mean, everything that Malaysia just said, it like kind of just hit it right on the nose. I feel like now more than ever, drag needs to be in the forefront of culture because it always has
Yeah.
been, but now it's like I feel like it needs to be more publicly noted that your favorite artists and designers and influencers, they're all taking inspiration from what we do on a daily basis. And we rarely ever get the credit for it or the recognition for the work that the work that we've put in as drag queens or drag entertainers over the years, not just us specifically, but drag entertainers as a whole. We have really kind of put a lot into the culture that we don't reap any of the benefits from. So I think it's pretty cute that now we are at the forefront of pop culture because we always have been. Well, not at the
Especially with
forefront.
MTV too. Like MTV is always where that's where all the girls are. So it is
Yeah.
our rightful home, I think.
Yeah. Today, that the guest judge for the premiere episode is none other than Ariana Grande. What was your reaction when you found out in the workroom or during the challenge that Ariana was going to be the first judge of the season?
I think we all just like completely blew out our vocal cords immediately.
The scream that was scrumped was the scream that would be heard around the world.
It was definitely fun, for sure.
Yeah, and as a Broadway queen, Marcia, she's going to play Glinda on in the upcoming Wicked movies. How do you feel about that?
I am thrilled. I will be there at that premiere if I have to scratch and claw my way into it. I love Ariana so much. She's such a sweetheart. And I think she's a great choice for the role. I am so excited to see it, both parts of it.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much, ladies. Thank you for taking the time to speak with me. I hope you all have a wonderful day.
You
Thank
too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.